Hello and welcome to today's video. I've returned to the city of Hamilton and I'm sitting in the gardens at Hamilton Gardens, and today I'm going to talk about a subject which came to me last night. It's called Secrets of the Light, or in Spanish, Secretos de la Luz. And I mention the Spanish aspect because Peru as a country has had such an influence on my exposure to the light, and when I'm going to be talking about secrets of the light, that has really been a big outcome of actually seeing the light. And I saw the light in Peru, as I've explained in a number of my prior videos as well as my writings. Also, what happened last night, I was listening to a meditation which was to do with the 8th chakra. So the 8th chakra is effectively known as the soul star chakra, and that sits about 6 to 12 inches above one's crown chakra. So your crown chakra is at the top of your head, which opens you to the universe. And the 8th chakra is said to be the gateway to divine love, spiritual wisdom, karmic cleansing, connecting the individual to higher consciousness beyond the physical body. And it's usually represented as a white or golden light. And you may notice just above my head is a white and yellow flower called the Gordonia. So I've sat here to represent the 8th chakra is above me, so the symbolism there. And also you might notice that I didn't consciously choose this, but in the spot that I'm sitting, that sort of the right hand side of my face is sort of exposed to the light, and the left hand side is a bit in the shadow or the dark, which I thought was actually interesting symbolism as well, because I'm going to be talking about the secrets of the light. And it's only when I came into the light, out of the dark or out of the shadows, I guess, that so many things became obvious to me. I uncovered. So again, I use in the whole of my symbolism the Gnostic universal realms uncovered, and I've uncovered so much. So one other thing I'll just say before I get into the subject today, I selected a quote from my little blue book, and the one I've selected today is a Serbian proverb. And just literally I just opened the book and it was kind of the first one to pop up, and then I thought about the Serbian aspect. Back in late 2016, when I was having my difficulties, I did actually meet a person there during that time, and she was from Serbia, younger lady, and I write about her in my main story, fairly early on in my main story. Her name was Miroslava. And while I met her in a kind of a dark kind of scenario, I was sort of deeply getting into my methamphetamine use at that time, short-lived as it was. We also formed quite a bond, and the bond was spiritualism. And I was definitely a novice at that stage. I mean, I was a seeker, but a complete novice really comparative to where I am now. However, this young Serbian lady, we spent hours and hours talking about spiritual matters, and she could just really channel the universe, and just an incredible ability to talk about all things spiritual with clarity. She didn't have any problem comprehending what it was all about and being able to put it into very structured sentences or structured meaning for me, and I was kind of in awe of her at that time. Thinking, wow, how did she manage to do all this? But she at the time told me that she had had her spiritual ascension as well. So I viewed her as a spiritual savant at the time. So a savant being someone with this incredible ability to just comprehend what could be, to the naked eye, very complex information or theory or experiences. But I now realise on reflection that the reason she was a spiritual savant was because she had undergone the gnosis, so the Gnostic aspect. She'd had the experiences. And so yeah, that's sort of the tie into the Serbian as well. And I'll just read out the quote. The quote is, "Be humble, for you are made of earth. Be noble, for you are made of stars." And so I'm talking about the soul star, or just the inspiration from the soul star above me. We are beings of the earth, and we are beings of the stars. We are beings of the universe. So there's earth in us, and there's stars in us. So the higher realms and the lower realms. The higher realms up into the universe, the stars. The lower realms, the physical material plane, the earth. And again, I do emphasize the need throughout my sort of discussions and videos, the need for us to make sure that we just don't live in one or other of those realms. And from my perspective, having experienced the higher realms, I am continually needing to integrate that back into the physical earthly plane, or my earth existence, so that I can understand and apply it in my day-to-day life, which anyone who's probably had a look at any of my other videos or my writings will know that that's what I feel I do on an ongoing basis. So the secrets of the light, what does that kind of mean to me in my journey? Well, I'm just going to really briefly talk about some just topics, literally. There's so much more to this than I can fit into this video, but things that I have discovered are real are as follows. Chakras are real. So we talk about the energy centers, the chakras. I'm talking about kind of the 8th chakra above me, but all the 7 chakras that are the main chakras that exist in the body, through from the root chakra at the bottom through to your crown chakra, they're all real. The energy centers, the 7 energy centers and the colors associated with them, and the ability to balance and activate them, it's all real. One needs to actually be in that state to be able to accept or comprehend the secrets of the light, really, or accept, or because those things that we do experience in those higher realms, or what I have experienced in those higher realms, as I've mentioned before, to the naked eye are either sort of woo-woo or just kind of like just crazy thinking, or if one experiences them, they can be overwhelming. And one needs to be prepared. And part of that preparation is to have your chakras balanced. So the chakras are real. Energy is real. So energy is clearly real, but everything is energy. What I'm saying, the words that I'm speaking are energy. The plants behind me are energy. I'm energy. There's universal energy, of course, and there's no disconnect between the human, as in me, and the universe. And as I've mentioned a number of times, I feel that I have tuned into the universe, or I'm open to the universe. I channel the universe, and because I channel the universe, that means I am fortunate to channel the universal energy. So the energy that I channel or have flowing through me is infinite. And that's why when I speak about the fact that I have energy overflowing, that's where it comes from. The fact that I've tuned into that energy. So energy is real. Universal energy obviously is real, and one can tune into that. The light is real. So everything is light. That's the source. I'm fairly certain that that is the source. Now, as I've explained, I'm open to anything, and I'm open to further learning. So, it may not be the absolute ultimate, but for me, to date, the light is the ultimate. I saw the source, and I've explained that in my writings, and I've explained that in prior videos through my experiences, mainly in Peru. I've seen the light, the brightest illuminated light you could see. And of course, when people talk about becoming enlightened, that's exactly what it is. So I'm very fortunate, and in the light, everything is clarity. Everything is exposed. So when I talk about here the secrets of the light, it's that the light shone upon the secrets for me, things that I had kind of thought about or known about or read about and experienced sometimes fleetingly, sometimes a bit more over the last few years, regularly. Once the light shone on it, everything was exposed. It was illumination. I mean, it's just in the words, illumination. So the secrets of the light, that's what I'm talking about here. The quantum field is real. So the quantum field is what a lot of people talk about is, what's below what we can see. And it's definitely a quantum field. I've seen it. It is a quantum field. It's like a fractal universe. Another way I could describe it would be slightly kaleidoscopic of nature, but it's all light and holographic, kaleidoscopic, and it's more real than me sitting here. So that is real. Oneness is real. So I've talked a lot about the oneness of the universe. We're all connected. Everything is connected, and everybody is connected to everybody. We're all one. And when one can get that or grasps that or experience it, so what I'm talking about here are experiences, not about reading about these things. I'm actually talking about the fact that I've been fortunate enough to experience these things. And once I experienced them, I knew for certain they were real. So these are the things, and that's just a very brief covering of what I'm talking about, the things that I've uncovered. To uncover those things are so seminal and such a huge influence or impact on my life. Once one sees those things, one cannot unsee them, and one does not want to unsee them, because out of all of that, I have flipped from living a pretty average, boring life at times, or normal life, not knowing, some uncertainty, wondering, searching, to a life where I live in the light, constant joy, constant wonderment at the universe, because it's just so immense, and I see it all the time. The symbolism I've talked about, I see it all the time. The unconscious, the subconscious has come into my conscious. So this is talking about living from higher consciousness. So all of those things may previously have been theory. Now they're actually a practical application has occurred in my life, and they're all real. So prior to uncovering things such as those, I led a life, a very limited life. Of course I did. I led the life that I knew who I was. I was told who I was. I learnt from an education system that told me what to learn, or what to educate me with, or I chose to learn those certain things. My parents told me certain things. The people around me had beliefs that, at times I believed. Institutions and governments teach you certain things, or you learn from them, or you trust them. Now, without getting too deep into all of that, that's just such a limiting way of being, and unfortunately I'd have to say it's a controlled way of living. Whether it's controlled on purpose or not, I have my view that perhaps it is. The control is there for a lot of reasons. I mean, if the world was full of people like me running around, institutions would not be necessary. Corporations would not be necessary. I wouldn't be out buying lots of things, and the whole economy as we know it would fail. But there's not lots of me running out there. There is a lot of people who are spiritually enlightened, but certainly nowhere near the level that's going to overturn that. Not that I'm here to revolutionise anything. I'm just here to live my life and share these messages with people. But all the things that I'm now saying have been exposed to me, uncovered, they were there anyway. They were always there. I just didn't know, or I only had read about them, or I'd only heard from others. So effectively, those things that are real, that I've just spoken about previously, were kind of secrets, but they were hidden in plain sight. They were there, and they're there for anybody to actually uncover. And one has to question, well, why don't people do that? Well, because we're conditioned not to. Our whole our whole system, that is, I'm talking about the holistic system, as in the education, the institutions, the way of thinking, millennia of civilization, don't really make that a priority for people to uncover. And it's up to the individual at this stage to uncover or discover or find. So the best way to sort of sum this up is that if we're in a position in life where we feel there's something more to life, and I keep using this term, there's more to life than meets the eye, I can guarantee there is. I've experienced it. And to uncover those things, we need to get on a path. I got on a path. I didn't kind of know the steps, but the steps appeared along the way. Not always the best steps, but I got back on the steps or on the path and found the correct steps. And the universe delivered. It's delivering every moment of my life, all the time. So, if we're in a position of that darkness which I talk about and the light that we might want to discover, it's just a matter of, as I've discussed a number of times, dispelling your darkness, so being your own guru, which is the literal translation, and moving towards the things that will bring you light. So moving to those things that expose the secrets, I suppose, of the universe. So again, I'll say thank you very much for listening to my video today. It's a pleasure to be able to bring this sort of information to people and hopefully some light to people and maybe some inspiration. As always, I'll be making further videos as I travel. As always, as well, I would ask you to enjoy the journey. We will meet when we should. And namaste.